the uncertainty that small businesses are facing in the past couple of months, and our hearts go out to you. We can't imagine what it's like to be a small business owner during this time of crisis. But what I'd like to do today is maybe help, maybe provide some insight. We teach startups every single day about what to do in the face of uncertainty, and I'm hoping that we can help by having a conversation. The conversation I'd like to do today is centered around the question of what can I do if my business model no longer works? This question could really come at any stage. It could come at the startup stage, it could come at the end of a trend, and it could come as a result of unexpected change. Now, that doesn't describe every situation. We know that each small business is unique. But what is it that you can do? How can you change your strategy? Is it possible to maintain vision? And really, it's important to understand that changing strategy is a change to your business model. This may not be financially feasible, but what is it that you can do? So a pivot is really a change in what it is you do. And this is a part of your business model itself. This could come as a change in your distribution channels. Is it feasible to move to an online marketplace? And if so, what products and services can actually be transitioned to a virtual interface? These are some key considerations. Another thing is it possible to change the activities that you do? And activities describe literally the things that you do to maintain customer relationships, to actually acquire customers, to grow your customer base, and how it is you interact with them. Which of these are transferable? Are there tasks that you perform each and every day that can be slightly shifted in order for you to take advantage of this unique situation? One of the most important things to think about if we think about changing our business model is that it's going to have a different cost. And is it feasible to do this? Something that we need to keep in mind is, can I make money with this change? And what are the underlying costs? Costs come in all different varieties, right? You could have time. It could be infrastructure changes, right? Or it could even be something as simple as materials. If we think about packing and fulfilling orders through a different distribution channel, such as the mail, there are going to be different costs that we incur versus if we are running out of our brick and mortar store. So something that's really important to think about is, what aspects of my business model can actually be transferred to the virtual world? This is something very in particular that we must think about today. What aspects can be taken online? Is it possible to transition into curbside product pickup service? These are some of the things that are, in this day and age, very important to think about. Another thing to think about is keeping in touch with your customers. Is it possible for you to start a video log to actually reach out and keep your customers informed about what your small business is doing during this crisis? Or is it possible, if you're in the service business, to actually have fee-for-service online virtual sessions? Can you host virtual workshops? Can you host virtual consulting gigs? Or even online tutorials? You know, a couple of other things that are important to think about are, will the store inventory and the online inventory sync? What platforms will provide secure transactions? What platforms offer customer support? How is it that I ensure customer support through this new change? So now that you've decided to pivot, what happens? Well, communicating a pivot is going to be very important, keeping your customers engaged. Videos help customers see you through this change and understand what it is the change means to them. Another important aspect of being able to interface with your customers during this change is that it actually lets you get their input. It lets you see what customers want. And speaking of customers, the most important pivots are the ones that actually respond to customer needs. Because if you think about it, without customers, there is no business. So that leads us to the final point. I guess really what I'm trying to say is that don't pivot. Don't make a change just for the sake of change. Make sure that you're responding to customers, that you're actually delivering something that customers want. And maybe it's time to think like a startup. Maybe it's time to go out and seek a new chance, a new way to acquire customers. Move to social media to grow your business. Maybe it's a chance to build out an online community of customers so that you get people cycling back into buying your products or seeking your services. These are some of the things to consider, and this is what I hope we start to talk about today.